most middle America cannot self-fund how much it costs to live in assisted living, a memory care, or in skilled nursing. And for that matter, they don't even have the opportunity probably to have home care because you can't pick up the phone and get someone to come to your house right away anymore. It's a 3 to 4 to 6 week wait. Makes a difference, no matter how much money you have.
I think that's a great point. I mean, we associate this with different analogies to insurance that we may have, right? Which is paying something to either cover something that we don't want to have happen or something in the future. A difficult purchase. That's a difficult psychological leap. Sometimes we have laws that actually mandate it and make it easier for us, right? If you have a mortgage on a house, you need to have, homeowners insurance, for instance. Just understanding the value today for this is a helpful way to connect with the future potential value as well. Because quite honestly, some people may not even live a life that asks them to tap into the future potential coverage. I mean, could we ever paint that picture in a positive way that, you won't feel like you waste your money just because you never spent $250,000 or $300,000. Like, there's a good story to that, right? It's like never hitting your premium level or your copay, on your health insurance. Well, it means I didn't go to the hospital this year. There's a good story to that. I think, crafting that and talking about that a little bit and making sure there's a day one value. Part of not using that full benefit that is a great benefit in the future is all of the collaborative work that we'll do, which is meaningful for your life today, this week, this month, next month, the things that you'll have access to and the things that are going to enhance your life. I think that story for providers is great. I think the other pitch to providers is, do you want to be in just a little bit of the senior living business, or would you like to be in a huge part of the senior living business? And I think that's a forgotten story too. Like, I was just on a webinar today that we're still talking about how to convince the people that want to move in somewhere that they should move in with them, right? And this was an older community that was spending a lot of money in renovations and competing against brand new buildings down the street, right? It's like, well, so you're going to spend all the money on renovation, then you're going to spend money on a robust marketing plan to compete against your neighbors down the road for only about 15% of the people that are interested in either one of your games. You're going to call yourself a senior living provider. Wouldn't there be an interesting play to say, hey, there's a whole bunch of people out there that are, ready for a different kind of help, and you could get in that game and build a program that serves them, and you'll still have an asset available if they ever need you in the old legacy way. And so that story is a real neat connection, saying you don't have to go very far from your mission here to think about the value of adding this type of a program to your portfolio. If you're in the senior living business, we just have to play around with stretching the fence lines of that just a little bit, and you get to open the gates of another humongous 70% of the entire market out there is waiting for you to be able to talk about that kind of story and saying, hey, we're in that game.
Yeah, I'm thinking, just gonna do one thing. Steve, I'm thinking about like Amy's story from like the provider perspective. We have a gal that's 60, almost 60 years old, solo ager. It's been a topic that's come up a little bit lately, which is really interesting, just from the standpoint of like, I am planning to age solo. I don't have a partner. I have no family. I have a couple friends, but they live 45 minutes from me. And if something happens to me, my biggest piece is I don't have transportation. Like, I can't get to where I need to go. And, that's something that really resonates with her as she's selling the program as a provider. And I think that we have an opportunity. And while a lot of senior living providers understand solo aging because they have folks that move in, that a spouse dies, and they still have that sense of community, like, why would we not want to go out into the greater community and provide exactly that without the walls being in place? That we're still providing community, that we're still providing necessary pieces of the program that really help us be connected, or that is the only reason why I have to leave my home is because I can't get transportation to get a cold colonoscopy or to have LASIK surgery done. Like, I think that that's a shame that we're leaving those people out, really, when we're not thinking about expanding the quote unquote walls of the provider perspective. I also think, in all actuality, I think senior living providers, no fault of their own, are very comfortable in the legacy model. It works for them. They've done it for however many years. It's been a great thing. We have been able to keep our buildings full, but people are not wanting to age like that anymore. And they're spending millions and millions of dollars to do these renovations when in all actuality, folks still don't want to move in. So again, I think being able to just take a step back and say, we have to do this differently. We have to be thinking about this differently. We have to be thinking about what is ahead. I think workforce in general is going to have to do that. As a country, we need to do that, and there's been other pieces in history where we've had to take a step back and really say, like, I don't need to push the nuclear red button to blow everything up, but I do need to take a step back and have a conversation to say, what other options are there that we can still serve the amount of people that we're desiring to serve?